Let's get fired up, y'all. Woo! Holiday weekend. It's been a blast for myself. Yes, I have a lot of things I want to tell my family and friends and my viewers, subscribers. Woo! We know we in the kitchen. You know what we do in here. We stir the pot. We keep it simmered, hot, whatever you want. We keep it hot right now. Listen, I know some of you are probably all on barbecues, but yeah, we here, right here. We sharing the love because you know what? Things may change in a few, but listen, enough of all that. Let's jump into it, guys. I had a great weekend. First, before I tell you about my weekend, oh my goodness, it was exciting. Still going on, but listen, we're gonna start with Lady T. Lady T, let us know. How was your Friday, your Saturday, your Sunday? Today's Monday, so how was it? Listen, I
Everything
want
was
to know.
great. It was great. You know, I'm going to give you all vague all the time. It was
Ah,
great. It was great.
hey, listen.
I can't do what you do. You know, you're better at that than me. So
Why?
because that's you. Me, I've just been, very vague. I don't tell too much. I can't talk well. All that. Yeah, but it
Stop.
was great. It was great. And how was yours? Let's get into you.
Oh, you want to get it to me?
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty then, let's get it. Yeah, we gonna do it just like that. All right, so listen. First, to start the weekend, I had a pleasure of attending my aunt's birthday party. She was not party, a celebration. We went all out. She's 75, and I promise y'all, she'll be look 75. 75 is there. It's up there. That's my father's sister.
Yeah.
And listen, she's 75 and do not look 75.
Right.
Now, I can't say about acting. Now that's something different, okay? I'm gonna keep it like that. I'm gonna say it like that, yo. Acting is a little different. So, but it was a pleasure. It was an honor. Also, there were some other family members there that I really wanted to talk with, break bread with. They were there. It was lovely to see the individual. They live a private life, so I like to keep it. That's why I didn't say their name, and I respect it, and that's their choice. So I respect it and honor that. We definitely will be linking up and hanging out sometime during the holidays. Just her husband, and myself and my wife. We definitely going to be linking up. You know, that was one of the wonderful things that happened. Also, me and wifey, we went to this movie. Like I'm telling everybody, you got to go see it. Listen, it changes your heart, changes your perspective, changes your mind. Yes, it had me in some tears. Okay, woo! I'm trying to tell you. Listen, it was a great movie. The movie is called The Forge. It's probably it's a spiritual movie, but listen, the actors that are in it, they are excellent. They're the right characters for the right uh, person. That's usually is some superstars, but if they're not superstars, they are actually just regular people. One of them actually is a pastor. Her father is a pastor, but they did a wonderful job, and I recommend uh, you go check it out. It's called The Forge. It definitely was interesting, and I loved it. I loved every bit of it. Some other people went to the movies and actually went to go see it. So me and my wife, we're gonna buy a couple of tickets and give them out to people so they can go out and see the movie. It's real encouraging. Also, what was exciting for me was that I was listening every time I get a chance to you know, evangelize or talk to other brothers. I want to be encouraging. So I know one brother I met at Home Depot. The man said he has four sons and one daughter. And I said, look, I told him, I said, oh, check out my podcast. This might be something that can be encouraging. I said, listen, I don't know your status of what you believe and everything. I said, but just check it out. It can be encouraging. It can be, a light that can shine in your life. And say, yo, I'm down, I'm down. So I got his phone, subscribe, check it out. And let me tell you something. I told him, I said, listen, Men, we are meant to be leaders. When you become a father to your children, you are the leader, and they look up to you. So everything that you do, it is detrimental to their life because you, your children are like sponges. So what they see, they begin to emulate. They begin to duplicate, and you want to make sure that you have a strong imprint on their life. And so that's why I said that. So I want to be encouraging to them, and then also to young men that I salute to them that they're focused, they're driven, and they got their eyes on the prize. Their prize might not be focused on God, but their prize is on having wealth. And I told them, now they shared this with me, and I told them that's great, and keep that. That's why I said to them, keep your eyes on the prize. They're having had sex with a woman. They like one other thing is like between the ages of 21 and 25. The younger one is 17. And I told him, I said, you got a girlfriend? He said, yeah. I said, listen, here's something I just want to, tell people and try to encourage you. I'm speaking from an example. I mean, from experience. And it's important that we share this. Is that, think about this. Have you ever thought or took the time out to really look at the woman that you're trying to get in bed with, and you sleep with them, and then you be with them for a long period of time, and they're going to have problems and issues. Are you willing to stick around and deal with those issues, deal with those problems? And when I say problems, I'm talking about medical. I'm talking about things like that. You know, most people don't look at that. You have to really get to know that individual because it's important to do that. So we don't have these broken homes. We don't have these broken relationships going around. And now if you listen to this and you just something to think about because it's important because guess what? You spend a lifetime, you spend 10 years, 5 years, 7 years with a person. And when things get rough, you're ready to move on and move to the next person because they have some issues. They have some health problems. That's why it's important to really get to know the person that you really want to spend the rest of your life with. If not spend the rest of your life with, just spend time with it. Time is patience. Time is something that's important. You got to realize that that's why it's important to get to know that person. And I was telling you, I said this to all you. I said it to the young men. And look, they listen. I feel like it went in and didn't go out the other ear because, like I said, look at them now. They're driven. You know what I'm saying? They focus, but they know they have something they looking toward. I said marriage. Some people look at marriage and say it's not good. No, listen, it's hard work. It's hard work. Some people don't want to do that hard work. But I'm not. I'm gonna get off that. That was my weekend. No, because for me it was great. You know what I'm saying? And being able to, and then one more thing. I visited another church on Sunday. It was good. I liked it. I really did. I enjoyed the service. I enjoyed the message. I enjoyed uh, the welcoming of the people that were there. Also, I was invited by one of the guys. He's an older guy. Um, he met me in the gym. Saw one of my shirts. He said, "Oh," I started talking to him, and I was led to have a conversation with him. Then he told me about his church. It was good. I like it. Hopefully, Lord's willing, that they have a men's ministry. It's a 3 day thing. I mean, 3 days of fellowshipping. We actually got to stay there. So I would
Mm,
have to drive there. So I gotta, try to work it out because I have to take some time off work.
right.
But I'm definitely gonna pray about it, and I want to be led by the Spirit to do that. So without further ado, I definitely want to get into this topic, contagious. So T, what's we talked earlier? So now we into the show. I want to know and tell the audience what is the first thing you thought. Tell them what's the first thing you thought when you look at the title. You was like contagious. What
I know.
you talking about?
I know.
What you talking about?
When I saw it and I think of you, you are the one that has this topic. I thought you were going to say what you put into your mind, what you're feeding yourself. It's like feeding, you. It's making you, want to be more of it. It's contagious. Whatever it is that you have a liking towards. That's what I was thinking. You and I don't really discuss the topics. You just bring it to me, and I just, that's my thoughts because of you being who you are, always talking about how we should, be mindful of what we are looking at, what we're, seeing, reading, and all that. So that's what I thought.
Well, I spoke about. I spoke to one of the guys that I have a conversation with, and I said to them, "What do you think?" And you know, the first thing they said was disease. I said, "No." Well, I mean, you could say that. You can look at it like that, right?
Right.
But no, the contagious that I'm talking about is me. I want to be contagious to the point is that when they see me, they say, "Oh my goodness, here come this." If they say, "Here come this man of God" or this Christian, and guess what? But my contagious is contagious about listen. And when you're around me, your spirit is moved. You want to have this joy. You love. You're hugging. You're in tune with one another. Y'all laughing. You're joy. So joy is the contagious that I want to be. You around me. That's like, oh man, look, I got. If you got to be something different, be something different. But when you be something different, be in good spirits. Be in good in love. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by when I'm talking about contagious. Just think about it. When you have a relationship with God, listen, it's contagious. You and you're right, Lady T. Guess what? When you listen, when you're around something that's positive, it becomes contagious. When you are allowing others to push you, encourage you, it becomes contagious because then you start doing it to others. Then you start overspilling to other people, and then guess what? Then they'll start bringing other people into that circle of excitement, of happiness, of joy. And doesn't guess what? That's not a perfect life. You know what I'm saying? I don't live a perfect life, but I want to live a contagious life. I want to live someday say, I love being around Chef Dennis. I love being around my brother. I love being around my coworker. That's what I mean about contagious. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. You just think about, you know, uh, you think about. Uh, Hold on, growth and knowledge is contagious to me. First thing that came to my mind. Yeah, yeah. See, yeah. Um, you think about this, T. Look, some of my friends, they say, you know what, I like being around you. Now, guess what? Some of them do not go to church. But guess what? They're fathers. They're married. So they're in my life for a reason, for a purpose. And I always try to walk on a straight and narrow. This is one thing I always say. I'm not perfect, but the men that are in my life, right, that are in my circle and that are married, I tell them this all the time. And I say this openly, is because guess what? When we go out as men, right? That's when we go out and watch a football game, we have a drink, eating, right? I said, don't come with your mindset of looking at another woman. You know why? Because I don't want to be a part of, you know, of hindering them. If that's something that you cannot do, then I tell them, don't come out with me. Why? Because guess what? I want them to be encouraged. If you got a wife, you shouldn't be entertaining another one or trying to. You know what I'm saying? And I try to keep that always, on the table because guess what? One, I don't want to be a part of a lie. This from experience. I had to deal with, a friend coming out with me, going out talking to another female, and the next thing you know, he got the number, and then they linking up, and then the wife called me and say, "Hey, Chef Dennis, did you see such and such?" Now I gotta be like, I don't want to be in that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's important to keep the positive, people around you. It's important to I always say that it's important to watch the thing. Be careful with the things that you put into your life. It's important.
Yeah, but I think that, people are going to be themselves and they're going to make mistakes regardless. Like you can't control people. That's how I see it. I mean, but I
No,
get what you're saying though. I do. You want to be a part of, nonsense or foolishness that could create, a lot of drama. I get what you're saying. I do. But I agree with that
but
comment, the last comment, because that's exactly, you and I had a conversation earlier and it made me think about it, and I do love knowledge. I crave wisdom, and I have done that for many, many years. And it's always been something that's why I like to read. I've always encouraged it with my daughters. I encourage it with people. Like I always say, you need to read a book. You do, because that's in there's understanding when you are able to process, read something and process it, and through the mind. And I've been doing that for a long time. And I think that that is the best contagious thing that I've had, that always wanting to, read. I don't get enough time to read. I don't read it like I want to. I'm not able to do as much as but it is still inside of me. It's still contagious. I always try to tell people that I'm not like you, where I'm trying to, you know, I have joy in me, but my joy is calm. My joy is peaceful in a way. I want to be, gentle. I'm trying to be more gentle, right? I always say I'm trying not to be as angry as I used to be. Because I've been an angry heifer. So, you know, I'm learning how to do things, but you are different than me. So, I mean, I get what you're saying. You want that contagiousness to be about joy. I want my contagiousness to be about read a book, get some knowledge. I want to tell that to people. I say things to make people intrigued to find some, knowledge about it. Go seek it for yourself. Like if I say something and it hits a nerve, good, because it hit up my nerve too. So I have to give it to you.
not. But this is definitely going to be a topic that we definitely talk about. Purpose. Listen, see, that's where it should start right there. You got to know your purpose in life. You have to know the purpose of you interacting with certain people that's in your life. Listen, Lady T, I say this publicly and openly. We have to understand that some people say that the devil is not real. Yes, he is. Look. He's real. Okay, and why he's real is because guess what? Just like people watch you, there are takers in this world. They want to take something. That is a negative spirit that comes from the pit of hell. Okay, I don't. Some people say, "Oh, the devil's not real." Yes, he is. Let me show you how real he is. Okay, I'm gonna share a story with you. This is real life story. Okay, you ready for this?
Of
Get
course.
your popcorn ready.
All right.
Okay.
Damn. I ain't
I,
got it.
listen, and I was led to just share this with you guys because it's real. This is how the enemy works. If you think it's the devil's not real, he's definitely real. Now listen, in my first marriage, right? Let me show you. And I speak about that a lot because that's where I learned a lot. And I failed at, I won't say failed because I don't like using the word fail. I did not succeed. I wasn't successful. Listen, I was working at a college, right? I was one of the chefs at the college, and there was this fine woman. This is before I got married, right? We talking, we laughing. I'm getting ready to get married. You know what the woman said to me? We talking, like I said, we work together. She says to me, "Oh, I can't talk to you, dude." I was like, "Yo, let's go out, let's get some lunch." She said, "Oh, I can't talk to you. You about to get married." Like, kind of like, shut me off, right? Shut me off. Oh, okay. Right? Boom. We still talking, we still working. I get married. Do my honeymoon, do my ones and my twos or whatever, right? Now, after after I get married, this is when the woman start coming on to me. Nigga, I'm getting to the whole thing. Now she's like, oh, let's hang out. Me being naive, I hung out with the person. Boom. Now I was working at nighttime at the time. Now, guess what?
Pause for the cause.
I know. My bad. My bad. My bad. So now, so yeah. So we hang out. We'll mind you, at this particular time in my life, I didn't smoke weed. I do not smoke weed now. Right? So boom. She said, come over to my house. We get to the story, get to the point of the story. Like, come over to my house. I go over to the house. It's late night. I get off work late. Come over to the house. Boom. That's it. See that? Now, mind you, I'm already intrigued by how she looks. She's beautiful. Right? I'm blinded. I'm keeping 100 with you. I'm blinded by her beauty. So now we get in the room. She said, have a smoke. Smoke with her. Next thing you know, I said I'm married at that particular time. It's my first marriage, right? Boom. We going in, mess around. I sleep with her. But you know what she whispered in? This is how the trick of the enemy. Some people might say it was my desire. No, it was because guess what? I was living for God. I was going to church. I was praying. I was doing all those type of things. You know what the woman said to me? See,
Mm.
when I tell you just like this, she whispered in my ear, just like, see how I'm closer to the mic? She
Mm.
said, and you supposed to be a man of God. Stop the fakeness. That's what she said in my ear. Let me tell
Ooh,
you something. Let me tell
ooh.
you something. If you don't think that the enemy is real, stop
Mm.
playing with yourself, okay? Stop playing with yourself. He's real. He is a
Mm.
deceitful person, and he will use who he may use.
Mhm.
And guess what? To this day, I realize that. So now I've learned not to allow myself to be in the midst of the wrong company. Because guess what? They will play tricks on your mind. He will. That's what he does. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I just got married. But the point that I'm making is that see how that's how the people are in this world. They look, they watching you. They see how you move. They see how you do things. They see that. And guess what? They say, oh, okay. Mind you, she said, no, let's not hang out because you about to get married. As soon as I get married, that's when she come to work looking all
Yeah, you
no.
just you wanted her though, so
But I listen, I wanted her at the cost of what?
I
And
know,
guess
but
and yo, and I
she knew.
promise you, huh? That's
She
right.
knew you wanted
But
her though.
and look, this is what I tell people. Look, listen. They say it's scriptures in the Bible that say, look, they didn't say they talk about the Bible and say the Bible it's not real. But I'm telling you, look, here's a parable that is in the Bible. It says the devil seeks, no, he's like a roaring lion who he may devour. So he watch. That's how he does. He's look watching like this. If you know how what a lion does to get his prey, he gets down on his legs and he watch. But guess what? He watch how you move. He watch how you just calm. And that did he attack? That's why it's in the Bible. Because guess what? That's exactly what he does. He watches you. And guess what? Let's think about this. A thief. He watch you. He want to see how he going to rob you. Rob you of your joy, rob you of your happiness. You could become the work, you could go be somewhere, and guess what? All like smiles and everything. And guess what? He said, oh, to me, coming in today, she hot today. Come and poke you, keep poking, get you off your happiness, get you off your high horse of happiness. Take you right on down. Next thing you know, because you ain't paying attention, you ain't watching. Woo. Now you saying something that you regret. You got what I'm saying? You feel me? What I'm saying?
I hear you.
That's what. And some people say you real passionate about this. I'm passionate about it because guess what? I've been through a lot. I've been through the storm, and I want people to. I don't want you to go through the storm. Some people they just want to go. I don't want you to. I want
They
you
gotta
to.
go. Everybody's
They,
gotta go
they
through a
don't
season.
have to.
Yes, they do.
I look. I spoke. Look, I
You
spoke
know
with
I
the two.
always say that.
No, but look, and there are people out here right now that's living in this world. They listen. They're doing it. I told
What?
you the two young men that I was talking to today. They doing it. Look, they doing it. It's not impossible, and excuse me, it's not impossible. But look, when you want that ultimate gold nugget, you want to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's and it don't. Some people say it's easy for you to say no. Guess what? I've been through the storm, and I'm here to tell you that you do not have to go through that storm. Everybody's walk is different, so you don't have
Oh,
to
you're
go through.
talking about that storm. Okay, I
Yeah,
get what you're
spirit.
saying.
I'm talking about spiritual
Mm,
storm. Yeah, I'm talking. I'm not talking about the natural storm. No, I'm not talking about that. You know, so that's what. That's the whole
but I
point. Yeah.
still think it's the storms are going to come for every single person on this world. The reason why I say that is because we are in a life to, go through the storms.
Well,
You're not going to avoid it. There's going to be a health issue, there's going to be a family issue, there's going to be a financial issue, there's going to be a psychological issue, there's going to be some type of issue.
you see that? He said the
Mm,
devil is a master of deception of humans, but he can't deceive God. Of course, we know. Come on, Scooter. We know that, but everybody don't know that, thing. Everybody don't know that, Scooter. Everybody don't know that. He's a deceiver. But T, well, here's the thing. Guess what? You're right about everybody going through a storm, right? We all got to go through a storm. It's
right.
about preparing for the storm. When it rains, if you listen, if you out look, if you go outside and you get prepared for the rain, guess what? Now you stuck in the rain. You don't got no umbrella, no nothing, no rain boots, nothing. You stuck in the rain. So how do you prepare for a storm that you didn't prepare for? You got to be prepared for it at all times. I say that because guess what? When I go to work and I don't have an umbrella, I mean I can go to my job and get an umbrella. Then now I'm prepared. But then guess what? Now I might have sneakers on that have mesh. Now I'm messed up. Now they're gonna be messed up. You know, so you always got to be prepared for the storm. You got to
Yeah, but
prepare. You got to prepare. You got to prep yourself up.
I think that when you're talking about contagious, this whole thing. I mean, people have no desire to either be contagious or to be anything most of the time, or they're just zombie like and just doing the routine, the daily routine, and it makes them a zombie. So there's no real feeling of what is truly what they want to be contagious of or give contagiousness to. I mean, most of the time it's mostly evil. We call the devil's walking all the time. The devil is walking amongst us, okay? You know, we have to see through it, of course, but we as people, we are, going through a transition in life. The old ways
Mm-hmm.
are leaving and there are going to be new ways that are being set up. So I think that people right now are listening, more and more to, get understanding for their life. But contagiousness, I think many people are not really thinking about their way of being contagious, how they see themselves as being contagious, how they put themselves out to their family and friends, what they give off with their energy and with their words. People don't think like that. People are not really paying attention to themselves to see how they are giving out to the world.
I'm and T, as you look, as we grow, right? Some people, do not do well with rejection. And
Hmm.
so if they don't do well with rejection, they're not going to have that type of mindset to go out there and just talk to people and love on people. They're not going to have that type of mindset. Doesn't mean that they not they. Everybody is different, so we know that on different levels. So they're not going to be able to do that. Everybody's not built for that. You know what I'm saying? There are some people that are built for that, some not. They can't go into a room and just start talking to people. We talked about that before. How some people can do that, some people can't. I'm one of those people. I don't want to go into no function or any place that I got to be sitting like this or I don't know nobody, so I won't speak to nobody. No, not me. And I know
I am
everybody.
comfortable in that position. I
Yeah.
have been very comfortable in that position. I think it's very beautiful to be able to go into a room. Let me tell you a time in my life where I admired somebody. There was this, so we used to back in the day get into training and have to go into conference rooms, trainings, and would be a whole bunch of us, right? Like say 50 people, and we would all be in groups based on your table, and then you'd have to work out some type of problem, contract type problem, and sort it out. There was this one particular chick that she sat there so poised, like she barely contributed. Like we all looked at her like you're worthless. But the way her whole attitude of just being in her body, not really giving anything because she didn't want to be there. But there are times when you need to be that way. You know what I'm saying? And it's beautiful. It is, there is something about when you're able to be still enough with all the chaos around you, all the talk around you, that there's still beauty in that, and I'm not going to let you put that down. You know me. I'm going to sit up here and cherish it because I see something that, God has brought into my life that I admire, and I see it as something that I desire to be, because my pop off way, I come off with the mouth good. I will cut you. And if I know I'm going to cut you with my words, I need to get away from you because you think you're better than me. Let me show you I know something different. That's my attitude, and because I am that way, I need to stay away from, certain situations. Like you say, I need to stay away from certain people. If you act a certain way, like don't be like me, do better than me, like show me different, teach me. That's a true leader if you're going to able to teach me. That's how I see a leader.
Well, oh,
Teach
well,
me.
okay, teach you. Okay, I'm about to
That's
teach
how
you.
I see.
Uh,
That's how I see it. Don't be like me and expect me
I'm
to
about to
be.
teach you something.
Okay,
I'm about
okay,
to teach you something. All right,
all right,
so for real, this is real talk. This is real talk.
okay.
Look, what you just said. If you know what you just said to be true, guess what? Stop saying it and change it.
I have been. That's all I do. I
I,
show it all the time. I show it right when I'm talking to you. I do it perfectly when I'm talking to you. Like, even people that know me best know that I am totally different when I talk to you right now. The way I communicate right now, I am doing it. Like, this is practice for me. Like, this right here, it is because I'm communicating. I'm communicating. I'm listening to you. You are a different type of man that I do not agree with all the time, and you know it. And you say shocking things that really make my ears bleed. You know,
oh Lord Jesus!
so I'm learning how to smile through it, and not be too emotional, hold myself, hold my composure, all that. This is all being,
But
a journey.
Lady T, look, listen to this. Guess what? And it's not. Look, this is so serious. Listen, if you like disagree with something I said, right? And you holding in because you want to say something, you want to interject, you want to say no, 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 right? Obviously, I'm saying something that kind of could be right. Because if I say something,
Oh, no,
listen, uh,
that's not true.
oh
That's
my,
not true. I
hold on,
think
all right, go,
it's just
hold on,
my
wait.
impatience. I think it's more, if I wanted to
Okay.
do it that way, it would be my impatience showing that I want to, voice my opinion. That's how I see that scenario that you just referred to. Has nothing to do with you being right or anything.
Oh, okay, give it take. Watch this. But I want to ask you a question. All right. The question I want to ask you is this: when something bothers somebody, right? Where is that feeling coming from? If somebody says something to you that bothers you, where does that feeling come from?
Miscommunication or lack of communication.
Okay, give me an example of the
Okay.
lack of
I
communication. That's
I
something that bothers
always okay, I always don't communicate my truth in my relationships. And when I do communicate it, I am like pissed, and I'll say things, right? And it's not really said in the right manner or appropriate behavior. That's not my way because I hold in. what I'm supposed to say and how I really feel. So if I'm not communicating, then, there's a time when I'm just feeling like, I'm going to say things the wrong way. So I look at it as a lack of communication or misunderstanding, miscommunication, something that you didn't understand, because I'm going to voice my opinion and tell you how I feel. This is my truth. If you don't respect it, that's your problem.
All right,
That's
so
not my problem. But if I explain myself and you don't like it and you don't want to work with me to make us, be happy together, then I have to walk away. You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to have it your way and it's not leveled out. I've been in relationships that way. I end relationships because you won't listen to me and I give you all my time and attention and love and you want to do whatever you want. Oh, no.
so give
Oh,
me
you
an
want us to.
example. Give me an example. Like set 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 it up for me because I understand you, but I want you to give us an truly
Okay, but let me
example.
let me make sure because I said too many things, and now I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about. So, what was your question again?
Okay, I want you to give us an example of what you mean about miscommunication that is going to bother you. Whether not about right or wrong, give me an example of you saying something that's bothering you because of what somebody says. And I said to you, where did that come from? That the feeling of you being bothered by it. That's what I
Okay,
want to say. You
okay,
got me what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Like I always do this when I'm communicating. I don't say certain things. I'm keeping it inside of me. What I was saying earlier, I keep it inside of me because I let that other person talk, 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 and they run it. They're running the conversation because I'm keeping it in. And then when it's time for me to stand up and say something, I'm quick with just a little blurb. But I don't actually get to say all that I really wanted to say because that person went on and on and on, or they were going over top of me when I was trying to talk. I get a lot of that. That's a lot of hypeness. People are real hyped all the time. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to say my black people. I see this more in my black people. I'm sorry. But a lot of that hypeness, when you get real angry, you don't really listen to the other person. I cannot communicate with that because all I'm doing is sitting up here saying, trying to get my words in, trying to make you understand something, trying to get you to hear me, but you're not because you're sitting up here getting emotional about something you feel that is not right about me. Like that don't even make no sense. Why you getting hyped up about feelings of what you think of I should be doing or what I should think? A lot of people have issues with the way other people live. And then they sit up here and start, putting their own opinion on it. And when they talk, 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 I sit there and let them dig deeper into that ditch because they're going to keep talking. They talk and talk and talk, and then I'll ask a good question, and then they'll talk and say something stupid. And then once they say something stupid, which really is their deeper ditch, then I'll sit up here and be like, I'm done with this. I'm kind of like, I get to a point where I'm just like, I'm done with this. And I didn't say everything I really wanted to say. That's what I mean, holding myself back. But I'm talking about situations where I've had plenty of my black people get so hyped up that they cannot communicate. They cannot resolve problems. They cannot sit up here and come together and just be like, this is the situation. And I'm not going to say all black people. I'm going to say black people, my black people, the ones I know. You know what I'm saying? The ones that I've had the relationships like that because they're so emotional. The people are too damn emotional that they just, So, yeah. Did I answer your question? Did I give a good example?
Yeah, yes, that's how you feel. That's how you.
That's my experience, though. That is truly my experience. I mean, I am learning to communicate, and I'm doing better. What I have done is if I didn't say something I wanted to say, I'll back it up with a text message because I've done that plenty of times. But that's like that's not even the way I wanted it to be. You know what I'm saying? But I had to get what needed to be said, and I am like, I'll let it be and let it go, but I have no desire to be around people that like to trigger a conversation. Like if we're having a conversation, you get so damn triggered that I cannot sit up here and talk to you, get so hyped. I've had so many people, and don't get me wrong, I was like that. I'm still like that about certain people. There's certain people that irk my nerves and say certain things that make me rah!
That meant see. So that mean look, see, that,
But
there
it's
you
it's
go.
more it's more of the it's the insult. I'm insulted when you say something that is totally wrong, or it is a way you're making up your own story to say what you look at it as from the outside. I cannot stand that. I really, that is a problem for me. Like, you don't even know me. You come up in here, you want to tell me what I should have done. You don't even know me. Like, you wasn't even in my life. Like, who are you? Back up, have a seat.
So so you those type of people you don't even I see what we talked about earlier. Who you let in your circle, you gotta be mindful of who you let in that circle.
But
Cause me, I ain't conversate. Listen, I put like this. I don't want, and I say this openly in public. I do not want anyone in my life that's not going to pour into my life. And when I say pour into my life, add to my life. They're encouraging me. They're pick, when I'm down, they're picking me up. That's what you want. You want somebody to pour into your life. You don't want somebody to take that taking your time and they not doing nothing, but always complaining, always talking about, well, I got this, well, I got that. You know what? They not. Don't give them that energy. Don't give it to them because that's what you're doing. You let them they just absorbing your happiness, your joy. They like this. They sucking you dry. They like then you look contagious. Look, we talk about that, right? Guess what?
yeah.
You got friends around you. Guess what? They always complaining. They always talking about, oh, I need this. Oh, I don't got this. Oh, I got this. Guess what? That spirit that they always complaining gonna pour on right onto you because you next thing you know what, girl? I don't got this. Oh, I don't have this. Now you talking about like that. Come on. You don't want that.
Right.
But we talk. That's why I'm talking about contagious because guess what? It's contagious. The people that you got around you, it becomes contagious. So guess what? They positive, not negative. They encouraging. They uplifting. They laughing. They even when they down, they laughing. They talking about man, this. I had so much fun. I had this and that. You know what? My uncle passed, but you know what? I'm still, I'm still striving. I'm still trying to get the ultimate big nugget of success. Go ahead, T.
But
You want to see? Go ahead.
there are a lot of people that are going through a suffering in this time in life. There are a lot of suffering still going on in people's lives, and it's hard to, for many people to have joy because suffering can, really suck out the happiness. But that's, I know what you're saying. You are more of I want to say a joyful man because life is good, right?
No,
Those, yeah, I mean,
I'm not.
no, no, no. Listen to me. Hear me out. Life is good. You don't have like the no job. You don't have the paying the bills, got to feed your family type situations. So, that's what I mean. The basics of life is good. And there are those that have less than me, you, and are suffering. And so even though we're talking about for people to have that, it's like you still have to kind of know how to encourage those, and those that are not really able to say that they can hold on to joy because they see their circumstances. What do you say to them? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you say to those that are really that need to hear something that is uplifting to the spirit? What do you say? What do you, because that's what needs to be contagious as far as the kindness of giving kindness to people that really heal them, to help them move up, amongst whatever they're going through.
Okay, so Lady T, if and I'm gonna be honest and like transparent, always, I'm always like that. First, if I have a conversation with a person that's going through something, I will have a conversation with them, right? I will get to understand their circumstance, and then once I understand their circumstance, because they tell me, right, then I'll have the right things to say to them. And let's say a person that don't have a job. Okay, first I will try my best to steer them in the right place to help them get a job. You understand what I'm saying? That's where it starts at. That conversation with that person that's less fortunate. You have to have a conversation with them and being able to lead them in the right place. Whatever the case may be, it depends on the conversation that you have and you talk with that person. How do I um, get them to understand the joy that I have? Guess what? I've been through something traumatically. You understand me? My life, and just see, just to show, you know, the things that I'm saying is correct. It's not just what I'm saying is right or wrong. Listen, I just told you earlier that I visited another church. In the process of me going inside the church, there was a young lady, older lady. Nah, man, she was older, right? So she said to me, "How you doing?" And I said hello in an up, you know, up tempo, like, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, me joyful and everything, right? How you doing? So hers was like, "Okay." I said, "I'm blessed and highly favored." She said, "Okay." So I said, "Yeah, because I've been through some stuff." You know what she said to me? She said, "Huh? You've been through some stuff." Basically, she was saying is that I look too young to even be ever going through that. So I said, no, don't ever think that my storm is not greater than my joy. I said, nah, because I've been through something, and that's why I'm going to where I'm going because I thank God, of my trials and tribulation, my storm. So I looked at her like, not looked at her, but in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, you don't even know the things I've been through, and she just quickly judged me based on what she saw, the look it's like, oh yeah, he too young. He ain't been through nothing. No, sorry, I've been through some stuff more than you can imagine. But just to go back to what you were saying, it's like you gotta you gotta really have a conversation with that person because you gotta understand we don't know how they got to that place. So how do we begin to conversate with them when we don't know? You gotta know how they got there because every circumstance is different. There's a reason for everything that goes on in your life and the other person's life. It's a purpose behind it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta learn from it. How do we learn from those things if we don't acknowledge it? You know what I'm saying? Somebody that don't have a job, guess what? Did they go out and hustle and bustle and try to figure it out, try to get the right resources, get the right people? But that's where the relationship with God comes in at. Some people don't and see something. Guess what? And I'm getting ready to, and I just want to announce now publicly too, that me and my wife, and I'm trying to get another young man with us, not attached to anything. Me and my wife and someone else, we're going to start feeding the homeless. Three-course catering is going to feed the homeless. Guess what? Nothing chats. And I know the things that I'm supposed to feed them so they can't get sick. But and I this is not no I don't want no credit for nobody else. I'm saying this because guess what? And what you just said, T, the reason why we're doing this because I don't know the circumstance. I don't know how they got there. I don't look at them like I used to and say, oh, that's a bum. And I thank God for my wife because you know why? She said, don't call them bums. You know what she said?
Hmm.
Call them less fortunate. And you know what? I began to start talking like that because guess what? I don't know their circumstance. I don't know how they got there. We don't know. So I don't look at them as bums anymore. I look at them less fortunate because guess what? Whether it's self-deflicting or not, I don't look at them and say that. I say, you know what, man, I wonder what happened there. And the reason why God laid that on my heart to feed the homeless is because guess what? I can be able to talk to them. I could be able to witness to them. I could be able to encourage them, as well as people that's doing good and doing well. Three-course catering is going to be doing that. So, and like I said, I'm not looking for glory for no man. This is God put it in my heart. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so when you say what you just said, this is and I just want to share that with you and the viewers because guess what? That is what happens when you have so much joy. You want to do things for others that's less fortunate. You want to speak to them because you don't know their circumstance, and you want to be a blessing to them. And I don't know what may transpire from me doing that because, like I said, some people, man, you don't know. You don't know. You just don't know. So my heart goes out to people like that. So
Yeah.
and that's so I have to. If they give me an opportunity to speak with them, and I'll know what to say to them and how to encourage them. You know what I'm saying? And because, like I said, this is what I want to do. Everybody don't want to do this. I want to be contagious because guess what? As sure as my name is Chef Dennis, I will always do that. Some people do not. They're not excited. And I do. And I speak to this. I speak to this guy all the time. And I'm gonna tell you something. He about like 6'4", dark guy. I mean, he African and everything, right? He don't. He's private. He don't like all the hugging. So I hug him in a way. where he can receive. But I'm telling you, when I tell you he's a tough cookie. He's a tough cookie. No, I'm for real. Like I look. I tell it, and I told him this is going to be a topic. I want to be contagious to him. You know why? Because I told him. I said, listen, you want a wife? You already a father. You know, a father of three. Guess what? You got. I said, Jay, this ain't for me, bro. I'm listen. You won't be you. His name is Jay, and I say his name. I said, you don't look. I could care less what you do with your life. I said, but I want you to have. I can say this to him because he's on the path of searching his journey with God. I said, that's what I want you to do. I want you to have a relationship with God, Jesus. I want you. I said because you know why? I said, guess what? It's going to change your perspective. You already had the mindset of um, leaving family wealth, you know, to your kids. You want to leave something to them. I said, but you gotta work on you first. Focus on you, the internal part of you. Focus on that. And guess what? Everything else I'm trying to tell you will direct you, and it will lead you to the right person, the right woman for you. I don't ever say you don't want to be married and you want his view on marriage is totally different. I said that listen, you got to do more healing. Now he has some this I ain't exposing that, but he has some issues that he has to deal with. He said, D, I can never be like you. Don't say that. I said, yo, I said, because guess what? When you find love, the love that you have for that woman, it's going to change. Cause see, that's what you women are. You guys, y'all filled with love. Once you got love, you women, once you have love, I promise you, it's like, woo, it's contagious. You want your husband start loving on you, and he be like, baby, you making me do not make, but you showing me stuff that I never thought I could do. I just told you about what my wife did for me.
Yep.
Nah, that's what happens. And I told him that's where your change will going to begin. Is going to begin. On top of that, guess what? You want to be the king of your home. I always say, men, be the king that you're supposed to be. And when you be the king that you're supposed to be, I promise you this. Guess what? The right woman, the right queen will be the queen for you, even through thick and thin, even through the rough times. But you have to be the king that you're supposed to be. You understand what I'm saying, T?
Right.
But some of these men, a king, you can have a bad king. That's a bad leader. You understand what I'm saying? So it
Yeah.
doesn't mean because I say king that you got to rule over the woman or rule over your children. No, you don't. I didn't say rule. I said lead. See that leader. Leaders do not rule. They show you the way. They teach you. They know how to have the compassion. They have patience. They have humbleness. They're not too proud. You know what I'm saying? See that's the leader characteristics. You know, humble is one of the biggest characteristics for a leader. You gotta be humble because guess what? You think you perfect. You can't say everything right. Sometimes you say the thing that's wrong.
That's right.
And now you got to be able to humble yourself, which and I'm not saying that I'm a leader. I am a leader, but I'm not saying it to say I'm better than anybody. But guess what? I share with you guys what I did at work. I had to be humble to say, brother, I was wrong. Can you forgive me? Give him a hug and say, I'm man, my bad. I was wrong. And no, seriously, you gotta think. Listen, it's not easy. It's not easy to go and do that to a person, whether they receive it and say, you know what, I appreciate that. No, whether they receive it or not,
Mm.
it's not easy, especially for men, to be humble and say, my bad, brother. They might be like, man, freak that. I ain't saying I'm sorry for that punk or that dude. They want to see some other words, but I ain't saying that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I do.
That's what I mean about being contagious. I want
I
to be.
mean, but everybody's contagious in the way they show themselves is different. Like, you have people that are not like you.
No,
You know that.
I do.
You
And
do.
look, 18. I've learned to realize that everybody's different, but that's why I surround myself with people that's like that. You know what I'm saying? That want to be, and we had a guest on here, and I tell you, I love her energy, I love her spirit. Santa,
Hmm.
remember Santa?
Hmm.
Listen, I don't know if you. follow her or anything, oh my goodness, man. When I tell you she talk about God and Jesus, man, listen, it's like, woo, yes, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And look, she has a big task. She got a lot of people looking up to her. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? She's doing big things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Me and my wife are gonna be part of some of those things, but that's what happens. That joy inside, man. Listen, some Christians don't want to share that. They don't. They could care less. They like, I'm doing it. That's all it. I'm doing it. That's it. That's it. They don't want no more. They just want. Okay, I just want to have a personal relationship
Are
with
you
God.
talking about me?
Uh oh. You
Yeah, I was like looking at you. I was like, I think he's
guilty
talking
as
about me.
charged. Look,
Yes,
oh
because that
well,
is, you know me. I'm
but I
not gonna
really
sit up there
wasn't.
and
I
talk
really
about.
wasn't.
I
I
get what
really
you're saying,
wasn't.
but
Oh,
it was definitely me.
but T, this is. It's like,
Yeah.
look, when you want, look, and I always hear you say that you want to give everything away, and you know what? If that's what you want to do, and God put that on your heart, so be it. But just having that relationship, you want more. You know what I'm saying? You
No,
want.
you want more life, and I want more life. I have to get rid of my material things, is what I said. Give everything away is my material things. So I want to travel. I'm not going to put myself to say I want to be in one location. I want to travel. Not having much is better to travel. You get what I'm saying? So that is what I mean.
All
When
right,
I
so
retire, I'm going to retire one day, right? And I want to be able to travel and not have much. My children, I'm not having no more children. My children are grown.
mhm.
Okay. They're out the house. There's no pets. I have just me. And I want to go travel. I'm not about the church. You already know. Love the church, but church is not my time no more. So that's over. And I want to travel to see
All right,
places.
I okay, so this is the thing. T, I gotta say this to you because I love
Yeah. This is love.
you. Yo,
This is love.
but what about what God wants for you? Do you want that?
Yes, that's what God wants from me because it's been led on my heart. And it was led on my heart before you and I started this whole thing. You know, it
All
was led
right.
on my heart years ago. I went to church. There was a time in my mid 30s, maybe early 30s, that I said, why am I going to church? You know, why? I only like to sing. That's all I want to do is sing because everything that is being said in the church, I do not agree with most of it, and I don't talk the language. I have never talked the language. I've asked questions. I have been the one that makes people irritated when I ask questions in the church. I have really been that black sheep in the church. Like the church is beautiful for many, many people. But for me, it was different. And I
That's your
respect it.
experience.
Yes,
That's your
my
experience.
experience has been beautiful. It has led me into the best direction for me. It has brought me to the place that I am right now in my life, which I am happy. I am satisfied. I don't need anything or anybody to complete me. You know, there's certain things I can tell you, but what does that have to do with it? I'm going to walk in this. This is my journey. And so my journey has brought me here, and all I want to do is go explore the lands. That's all I want to do. And he knows it. You know, I know everything within me is going to put me into that direction because all I've been doing is sitting up here saying from when I was young, I want to get out of this area. I've lived in this area all my life and I've never left. I mean,
Free area. You
I've
talking about?
traveled to, you know, have vacations so many places, but that's not, I mean, live in different lands. You know, I want to go out of my country, you know, I want
You
to
ever been
be
out of the
somewhere.
country?
I've
Have
been
you?
out of the country. That's
Oh,
vacations. I'm
oh,
talking about
oh.
live. I want to live other lands, is what I said. I don't want to, you know, just go visit for a certain amount. I want to stay for a certain amount and then travel back and come back to a different place.
All
So
right.
if I travel less and have less, it makes it easier. That's what I mean.
Okay, I get that. I
So
get
now you know my whole my life.
that. But you just keep in mind. Just keep in mind. Just keep in mind. That's what you want. I asked you, is that what God wants?
Yes, that's what God's been putting me in the direction. I've been saying that.
I know you say that.
Yes, I like everything has
I
been
kind,
that way.
I kind
All
of,
the men in
I,
my life have been going flip. They just all the men
we're
have
not gonna
not.
talk about that. We're not gonna talk about
But
that.
I'm just saying, my life in general, my life in general, how my life has been. You see, it's not working. This is not working. This is not working. I don't want to do the same thing, being insane. Okay, so I'm doing different, and
That's
I've
why you
accepted it.
look. That's why you're here. Something way different.
Hmm.
Something. That's why you're here.
And what was
Which
the other last part?
something different, way outside of your comfort zone.
Yes,
Right.
right.
And guess what? And like I said, listen to this.
Oh Lord, what's this gonna be?
Look. No, it's what her to,
Her God
I guess,
want
to
her to
do.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. My God within me. That's right. The God that walks in me, that don't walk in you or anybody else. The God that's in my life. That's right. You're right. I mean, and every day I wake up just like you wake up. Your spirit is your spirit, mine is mine, right? We all have our own spirit. That's right. So my spirit speaks loudly. Now, now let me say, I don't know the future, but I do know there's
Oh, there you go.
but I do know that there's going to be major drastic changes coming, and I know that I have to also be prepared. So my preparation is my own, right? I keep it what I'm supposed to do, but I know something's coming. And when I'm telling this, I'm saying it because I know it. Like everybody else can say they know certain things. I know it from me too. So I've been paying attention, listening, and doing what I'm supposed to do. I don't know when I'm going to leave. I don't know how it's going to happen. I may die. You never know. Life, you never know. And I accept that. I respect that. And
There's
but
power in the tongue.
yes, there's power in the tongue, but I
Okay.
respect the fact that I do not know anything. So the next moment, I do not know what will happen. But my desire is there. And, my desire will always be fulfilled because it's always been fulfilled in my past. My journey has been beautiful. And my mistakes were made, many, many. And I know the mistakes that were made. I respect the fact that it happened because it was for my growth. And it was a beautiful growth. I look at it as it was necessary because I had a lot of things that needed to be worked out. But also, we all have our journey. And, those that are in the spiritual, you know, I can never say it, evangelical, what
Evangelical.
I'm in
Yeah.
evangelical, there we go, that are
Evangelical.
in it. They are about it. And I respect it. I love it. It's beautiful. But don't push it on me, honey. No, 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 no. I have it. I have it. It's in my family. It's deep in my family. You know it. It's like, but I can't do that no more. It's not the time. My time has always been about progress. And I questioned the Bible when I was a little girl, been doing it since. And I still want to put the pieces together. And I love it. The Bible is beautiful. Interpretation matters, though. And I'm seeking the right interpretation. Trust me when I say that. I don't want to be a doctorate in theology, but I feel like that's the journey that it feels like it's going into because I love knowledge. I love wisdom, but I don't want theology. Don't get me wrong. That's not where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Like, but there is a learning different religions, learning different ancient histories and mysticisms, things that are Gnostic that, the Gnostics are coming out with, that we know more and more because, information was revealed, all these different documents that are being revealed in the world, people don't even know. And I love it. I want to get more of it. And I want to go and be one of those that go and dig into the dirt and know how to read certain things. I want to learn that. That don't keep me trapped. I feel like when people do that with the whole religious thing, trying to make you want to stay in something that's not meant for you, I can't do it. I'm rebellious anyway, so
Oh. See, I said,
But
I said,
rebellious to people. I'm not
but
gonna do what you
the
want. I'm not gonna do
the
what the system wants. I want to do what's in my spirit. That's my
the,
rebelliousness.
the word that you said, look, the word you said, look, see what you said, rebellious.
Yes, rebellious. You can't take look. There's going to be change. Like people will have their own authority again. Like they will have their own autonomy to say that they can do what they want and not be bound by systems and laws and rules and dogma, mentality. Like dogma mentality and traditions are not here anymore. Things are evolving. Knowledge is being given. Like we are being able to see things more clearly. That is our day and age. And I'm not going to sit up here and be ignorant no more. That's my choice because I was always wanted to be there. Like, I have a book collection. I have books. Like I have when you look at the books I have, that old books. Amazon started as a book play club. I used to sell my books on Amazon. So like that's how Amazon started. And so I've had it that long where I was selling my books, trying to, get rid of things I didn't really
Cover your
like.
mic up. You cover your
Huh?
mic up. Oh, there you go.
What?
He was covering your mic up.
Oh, wow. Okay. But I was doing a lot, with books and I love it because I like knowledge. So I was born to go into that pathway that I'm going into right now. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing wrong with it. Like, stop being like afraid of it. That's why I've been told. Like, okay, and I'm doing it. But I always have to sit up here and explain myself. I always have to sit up here and let things be known because people don't really know me. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Hey, AT. All right. We'll talk about knowledge, right? All right. So I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna break it down for you a little bit. I'm gonna say this to you like this. Fried chicken is good, right?
Mhm.
But if you indulge it too much, it has an effect. It's good, right? It's a good piece of. Fried chicken is good, right? So
Right.
it's good for the body. For it, but if you eat too much of it, right, it can cause problems, right? If you read the wrong things, it can cause problems. Not saying what you're reading, but it can cause blockage. It can cause you to think differently. It can cause you to say challenge something that you're supposed to know, but it can cause you to challenge it and say, you know what, this ain't right. I don't believe in that. So see, you understand what I'm saying? You get the message.
That's
You
the
get the
best
message.
way to do it.
But guess
That's the
what?
best way.
But if you allow the
Your beliefs to be changed.
not no, I'm not talking
That's
about
what you're
beliefs.
basically saying.
No.
Okay.
I gave you an example. I'm not see because I what you read is
What you're
what you read.
saying,
That's
what's the
the I.
challenges that you're referring to, though? You say, if I say the beliefs are being challenged, right?
Mhm.
Right? Is that what you're telling me, though?
No, not your child. No, what I'm saying, the things that you're reading can create a challenge for you as the individual because now it goes against everything that is supposed to be good for you, but now it goes
Mm,
against everything. So
okay. I don't
you
think.
don't agree? You don't, you don't,
I think you just made that up. Okay, like you just made that up.
what?
Like good for you.
Okay,
Okay, who
I
would
get
want
so
to? Let me say it like this: who would want to do something that does not do good for you? Like if
wow.
you already know,
I
what
just
is the
gave you an
example you gave me?
example.
What's the
Fried
example?
chicken. Fried
Fried
chicken is
chicken
good.
too much. Okay, so you're basically saying reading too much is bad
No.
for you.
Oh,
Okay,
so
then
now I
what
got. I,
exactly? Exactly. Don't say fried chicken, but what exactly? Give a better example because I
oh,
want to understand.
okay. You don't. So you don't understand.
I
Okay.
want
So
to though.
let's talk about God. Let's say God is a woman. God's a woman. Could
Okay,
God be a woman? Right.
whatever belief what anybody has, right? Okay, I
They may
say
believe.
God. I say God is male, female together. That's what I
Oh,
say. But I
that's what you
always
said.
say he most of the time because that's what I grew up on. I say
Okay.
Jesus, but we don't say Jesus is not the right name to say. Like we say things growing up and hear how it was said in our own environment. So I get what you're saying,
Hold on.
but go ahead.
Hold on. Let me see. So, hold on, T. You're. It's. Hold on, T. I'm gonna try something. gotta learn how to do this.
Oh, we are really doing dead air right now.
Huh?
I said we are really doing dead air. Nothing. Silence.
No, no. I said no, no, no. Give
I
me.
know. I know.
Oh,
It should play elevator music or something.
right.
No Jeopardy music. That's what I grew up on. Jeopardy. Do, 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 do,
So
do.
no, no. That's I just had to. I had to put that in there because just in case. I think I did it
Okay, so you're not gonna finish your thought then?
right. No, no, no. Oh yeah, I'm feeling my thought.
Okay.
Okay, come
Let
on.
me see. I want to see.
Yeah, I just added the link in so they could join. They wanted to join.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I think no, I did it the wrong way. I did it the wrong way. No, that's this. Hold on, I did it the wrong way. Hold on.
You
That's
don't want to say who it is, so I guess we'll just wait, wait and see
yeah,
who
yeah. Look,
who
I ain't
this
want.
is gonna be.
Mm-hmm. I didn't want to give it up. So,
I am not a fan of this headphone thing. It's gonna be messing my hair up. Mm,
Lord,
mm. Can't have hair.
okay. Hold on.
Yes.
It's Scooter Mac. You want? Hold on. I got that. Scooter Mac. Here,
Mm-hmm. See what he got to say.
yeah. That's it. Jump, 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 ship, jump, jump to it. Ain't that what it said?
I have no idea. You're really taking a long pause.
I know, my bad.
I would have went to the bathroom if I would have known all this.
This is my first time doing this. That's why.
Oh, okay. All
There
right,
we
you could
go.
have passed.
Yeah, it's my first. There we go. Now they can join me.
All right, hold on.
All right. So I put the link up. So if you want to join in, you can join in now. So now I lost my thought.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember it either.
See, I'm
Uh,
messing up my stuff, man. What's wrong
mm-hmm.
with you? But anyway, but what was we talking about? Because you just lost my train of thought, man.
We was talking about something. I
Well,
mean, just talking about how I what I think you're basically saying is that, I think you want to see me in ministry. That's what I see it as. That's what
oh,
I
that
look at you
what
as. That's
what
how I see when you talk like that. I think when you are directing it for me, and I know you direct it to me sometimes. So that's all. What's up, Scooter?
Hey, how y'all doing?
we good in here, chef. Lady T in here trying to throw some boomerangs at me, but I'm blocking them. Get out!
Well, I
Get
know
off!
I heard it, but like when you was talking about like reading stuff, and that can pretty much like deflect your thought and all that right
All
there.
right, so yeah, let me jump in there real quick. All right, so somebody said something about you said about Jesus. That's not the name, right? Right?
The original name, how it was said, they
Okay,
added
watch
J.
this. You got to know that. That's because it's Hebrew. Hebrew didn't use the J, right? So we got now. You got to remember, we're translated into English. So Jesus. That's why they use Yahweh. You understand me? When you break down Yahweh, see Yahweh spelled different. It's spelled with a Y, right?
Right.
So the people who say Jesus and Yahweh, you have to learn how to break it down. So guess what? If you don't read that, you don't understand it. See, I understand that. Yahshua. I see. I get that. I understand because that's what I've learned. That I have studied that. I know it. I understand. But if you don't read that, understand it. That's the first thing you say. Oh my! I don't who Jesus. I don't know who Jesus is because you don't study. That's why it says in the Bible, study to show thyself approved. Now, when you start reading other stuff that go against what that says, now your thought process begins to change. Now
Okay.
you
You're
question
basically saying if I read some demonic stuff, that's against,
it.
right?
It
Demonic. I mean, let's say demonic.
okay.
We'll call it
Demonic,
demonic.
yes. Okay,
Yes.
if
Okay.
you want to say
Okay.
demonic, okay, we
I
say
don't read
demonic.
nothing demonic, so don't
Okay,
worry.
now it
But
changed.
now people can have an interpretation of what is demonic, and they can say, certain things are not what we're supposed to do as Christians. And I can hear that. I could definitely hear that in the background because that's what growing up, I remember hearing.
So let me ask you a question then. Why we got scooted here? Listen, now I want this is real deep. The Christian life, the Christian walk, right? Is it negative? Is it yes or no? Lady T.
I thought you were going to
I,
have Scooter
I,
answer.
no, I want you to answer. And this, it's a yes or no.
Is the Christian walk negative? Is that was the question, right?
Yes.
No.
Mm. Scooter.
I mean I mean, you said a yes or no, but that's
It,
a
it, it's
I
a yes.
know.
No. Watch
that's a
this.
It's a yes or no.
It's a yes or no, and there's a reason why. And then if you would like to elaborate on it, elaborate on it. But it's a yes or no.
okay.
The
No, no,
Christian lifestyle,
no,
huh?
no, no.
Exactly. You know why? And then I'll let you. I'll let you go. You know why it's not? It's because guess what? It's your desire to want to do the right thing. If you don't know what's right, you have to learn what's right. What's the right thing to do? Some people don't have patience because they don't have take the time to learn about patience. They don't take the time to learn about humble. They just react on emotions. And guess what? As a Christian, we supposed to act like that. So a positive outlook on life. Things get rough. Guess what? If you don't do the studying, you don't do the things that you're supposed to do. Guess what? You have problems.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
don't study how. If you don't listen, if you don't do the work, you will not reap the benefits of being a good Christian. Guess what? You're gonna get upset. You're gonna get mad. Well, yeah, we all gonna get upset and mad. But guess what? Read some stuff that tell you it's okay to you to go and slap somebody. Look, just like some people might interpret this as an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. You slap me, I'ma slap you. But guess what? Now somebody interpret that. You know what? If you slap me, I'ma slap you. Turn the other cheek. No, you got to understand that. You got to learn. Guess what? If you don't learn, you think that's telling you, oh, because you slapped me, let me slap you back. No, it's not. That's in the Bible, right? But it's not there for you to understand. You have to learn how to interpret it. And I said the wrong things will alter your thinking. It,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
things that go, listen, and I'm
You
saying
said
this.
reading, though. You are referring to the things that you read when you originally started it.
Yeah, look, there are things out there in the world that will tell you it's okay to get revenge. It's
Oh,
okay.
okay. Well, most of the time when you say you're a Christian, you're basically saying you are following Christ, and Christ has certain understanding that he gave, and he was not about turn now he was turn the cheek. He was definitely a turn the cheek. Now I'm thinking about the God of the Old Testament was not so. But I mean, I think that people will, if they're a Christian, what's right and wrong. You know how I feel about that. Everybody knows within them what's right and wrong, and it's the choice if we want to do right or wrong. And you make the choice: who you going to serve this day, who you going to serve this time, the enemy or what is holy. What is good for you or what is bad for you. That's life. So, but when it comes to what we were talking about, when it comes to church and I think you know how I feel about church. Church will change. It is on its way for change. It is. Church is and you're seeing it already. You know, you see churches changing. Church is going through it because it's meant to. There is a time for everything. There's a time for rising and a time for falling.
Yeah.
And the time for falling is near because the church has been corrupt. And I'm sorry. The
Don't say
church, I'm sorry. You have to hear the church because it is the temple.
but
What
hold
we're
on.
calling the temple. Listen, hear me out.
Go
The
ahead.
reason why I say it is because, you know, people are learning from what church principles have been. So the church principles of how we treat one another, and of course the whole system, you know, the system of the Catholic Church. I'm going to say the Catholic Church has a lot to do with our systems in the world, right? And so the systems of our world and how we do our daily business is all connected to church too. Okay. Once you get an understanding how the church is truly involved in our lives, and it's not right. It is all about its own greed. You see too many churches having greed issues now. Too many churches are not speaking the truth of holiness. Too many churches are not really worshiping the God of everything and all. Too many churches are worshiping the wrong gods. Too many churches are telling the same thing that should not be said anymore. You know, and we want to say the people, fine, but it's the
There
church.
you go.
It's still the church. You are
How?
in the church. You are in the representation of what is supposed to be
No.
godly.
See, that
If we
see,
call church a church, you go into a place for worship and you say, all of us as people are coming to this location to worship God, right? That's the church.
so hold on. So look, let's get one thing straight. Because that's what all people that's a lot of people out here that's talking about it's the church. It's not the church, it's the humans that run it. If you listen, if they are poisoned, you are going to be poisoned as well. So
Okay.
that's the key to it. It is not about the church. It's about the
Okay.
people that's in it. Because guess what? The church don't hurt you. It's the people that hurt you.
Okay.
It's the
How about
people that
this?
deceive you. It's the
How about
people that yeah. Go ahead. I'm
how
getting
about
started.
this?
Now.
How
So
about
tell
the
me. I want.
doctrine of church? The doctrine. The doctrine, what is being spoken in church, the repetition of the sermons that we hear and the interpretation of the sermons that we hear, the understanding that it is giving to the people. It is the doctrine of the church that I am referring to.
The wrong
How
place.
we are speaking a language to people. I'm sorry, what did you say?
The wrong place.
Okay. All right. So let me say this. Churches are evolving. You know, I think that there are people that are more knowledgeable about the history of church and about the history of the Bible and about the creation of the Bible and history, period. And people that have a knowledge of that, you are teaching something that has more a substance, you know, in the word of God, right? That's my opinion. This is truly what I believe. If you're educated and you're saying you're a preacher, you go up there and preach because you're educated and you're going to teach, you know, because that's what we look at professors, right? That's what we look at teachers. They are people that have had the education. So churches need to be a little bit more of those type of people. But if you're sitting up here following somebody that just talks good, you be up there, you know, get the Holy Spirit and you want to dance and everything and say that you're learning something. I'm really, you know, I don't know. I
Yeah.
really don't think so. I
Oh,
think that
there you
we are
go.
training
But
people to not really be educated in
T.
what the
but
Bible
you
is
gotta
really saying.
T. What
but
you
you
just
gotta remember it goes back to what I said earlier what Dennis read in the on the banner thing that he posted on the top when I said the the devil is the master of deception. So if I can get one man to come into a group of people and this man can lie and manipulate and have these people follow him and knowing that that's not the word of God, then the devil has achieved what he set out to do,
there
and
you
that's to
go.
deceive, steal, kill, and destroy.
And
So
so
Yes.
good.
you got to
And the church
remember
has been it.
that, yeah, but you got to remember the devil know the Bible too,
Yes.
and not only
In the
that,
church.
there's many of those. I'm not going to sit up and call everybody a devil, but I'm just going to say that there's many people that has been deceived that sits in the church, that even
Yep.
stands and preach.
Yep.
And some of those people, just like it said in the Bible, there will be many that will go out using my name, but I will not be with them. Some will use my name for gain. Some will use it for fame and everything else. But at what point, when those people are preaching and teaching, am I receiving the glory? When am I getting the glory? Because it's all about them. At the end, when it's all about, like he just said about going helping people and giving feeding the homeless. You know, that's something of God, because God would feed the homeless. You know what I'm saying? And if you have a pastor that's standing in the church, and I hate to say this right here, but I use him as a primary example. The Bishop T.D. Jakes. Now, you go into his church, he got security guards all around him, all of them armed. But why he preaching? But you showed me one time when Jesus was preaching, how many of the disciples was on, that when people came to him and said, thank you, Yahshua, thank you, Yahweh, for this right here, thank you, Lord, thank you, and getting on their knees. How many times did you see Peter or any one of them say, hey, wait a minute, get back, get back? No, you didn't never see that or heard. It don't even tell you about none of that in the Bible. But then it goes back to when you said about or preaching in church and the doctrine that you was talking about. Now, tell me if this sounds negative to you. Sunday, a young pastor that got up there and preached because the pastor of our church wasn't there, but he said this right here. He said Adam was a curse, but Jesus was the cure. Do you agree with that?
No,
Yes.
What
no.
do you mean? No.
Yes.
You said, hold up. You
He
said,
said Adam was the curse, but Jesus was the cure. So how do you not agree with that? If
oh,
Adam,
I
if,
didn't hear the other part.
Right.
I didn't hear the other part
oh,
clearly.
okay,
No, I didn't hear. I thought you said Adam was not cursed.
no, Adam was
Oh,
the curse, and
okay.
Jesus was the cure. But again, when y'all talked about reading things and stuff like that, right there. See, my grandpa, he's a Mason, and he's I don't know, one of the highest ranked. But anyways, my dad had pulled me to the side when my dad was living, and he said, "Hey man, you the smartest out of all my kids. Hey, have you ever thought about joining the Mason?" And I said, no. And he said, so let me ask you a question. Why would you quickly tell me no when you don't know nothing about it? You ain't even told me that you possibly studied or know anything about it. So how you just gonna sit here and tell me no? And I said, so why would I sit up there and follow something that I don't know nothing about or believe in? So for weeks he started explaining to me, oh man, when your grandpa first joined, his brotherhood gave him all this money. They gave him houses and brought him here to Dallas and all that right there. Your grandpa passed that down to you. And I said, well, why would I want something given to me when I can go earn it and get it myself? And when you talk about following the Lord and doing what's right, I turn that down. I don't want it like that. You know what I'm saying? You can have all that right there, and I don't know who they worship. That ain't my business. I don't judge them or nothing like that right there, but I don't want it like that.
You want it naturally for you, whatever's meant
Yeah.
for you.
Whichever way God give it to me. If it take me until I'm 90 years old just to get ahead, I'm cool with that.
Right.
I'd
I
rather
understand.
struggle. I'd rather struggle and go through life struggling than the devil to give me something and then I turn around and say, man, hold on. But I signed that piece of paper and said that I was gonna join y'all little group. I didn't even read that, man. The only thing I read was the top part of it. I didn't read the bottom. What was the final print? And then they come back and tell me, "Oh, you didn't read the bottom where it said you sold your soul. You gave your soul." No, I didn't know that. And that's the point where we as people need to wake up and start paying attention. We don't never read the finer print. We always read the top part of it where it say, "Do you appreciate this copyright?" I bet you right now, if I ask you, Dennis, right now, when you created your YouTube page, You read the top part of it, but then when you got to the bottom of it, and it say, I consent to sign my signature to everything that are on here, or whatever is true. You didn't read the bottom final print of it, did you?
I do. Sorry.
You read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why.
Well, we don't
That's
have.
what.
Well,
But
me personally, I ain't gonna lie. I don't read everything. I don't read it all. I just read half of it, and then when I see that everything says something good, that it's not saying I'm giving up or my life for it, or I'm not signing over my kids and all that right there. Let me sign right here, and then you go get it.
all right.
Get
So
this right here, get out of here.
So you know what I learned. You know what I learned, and I'm just going to say I'm going to show you why I do because I've learned that over the years buying a car, it's important to read the fine print in buying a car because there are, like you said, there are clauses in those fine prints that you do not know that you signing away, and you don't sign it. Guess what? You don't read it. You sign it. And it's a deal. You can't you can't breach that deal. And so when I sign something, I let me see that I'm reading. If it take me a half an hour to read all the paperwork, I read it because guess what? And my wife will tell you, she just got a car. She was getting ready. I said, no. I told her, God, let me see those papers. Let me read it and see what she signed. Then, okay, I say, okay, babe. I read one. I said, all right, sign that. Okay, sign it. Even if they tell me because it's important, I want to know what I'm signing. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't when you get a car, they don't tell you about gap. Gap is important when you're buying a car. You know why? Because that and it's they pay up to sometimes they pay up to 80%, sometimes they pay up to 100%. You got to know that. And that's why I've learned to read things that people tell me to sign. Let me read what you giving me. And then if I don't agree with it, I'm good. I I'm no, I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I do, and I'm not like trying to be funny. That's why I do because of those things that I've encountered it, and that's buying a car. Even with buying a house, I noticed I don't have a house yet, but I know that's what they made sure that I learned. Listen, you sign it off on something, read all the way down to the bottom because it's important, and most people don't do that. T, you
Yeah,
look
I'm
like
in
you just
contracts. I'm in contracts, and no, I do not read all of it. I skim.
Ooh.
I do a
Mm-mm-mm.
good there's always going to be certain things that automatically, so you kind of
Mhm.
skim through it. But yeah, I do skim. I don't read all. I'm definitely one of those type. Like the last thing that I got. Okay, so a lot of things are now electronic, so you have to scroll down to read the terms and conditions. And I have not read through it all either. So I'm going to be 100 on that. So
But
yeah.
you look like you was disturbed though. You okay? You was
Oh
shaking. You good?
boy, please.
Okay, I
No.
just want to
Yeah.
make sure. I don't know.
Shaking
You
about
look
what?
no, like you
About
was like
what?
you was cringing or something. I was making
No.
sure.
Okay. Maybe my fan is doing it good. So, but nah.
Okay, all right.
But
Listen,
no,
man.
no. Okay, look, we talked about the church. Look, the church is a beautiful thing. I'm not saying it's not beautiful when it's supposed to be done the right way. I love the church, nothing wrong with the church. But I do believe that the church is going to go through some type of major change. There's going to be a major change. It's already in the works. You're seeing it. Oh, yeah. And
Of course.
look, and so there's going to be something that will really change church is all I'm saying. And
Hey
it's
T,
bound to happen.
look. I got something for you. See, so this what I mean by it's not about the church. It's about the people that's in the church, right? Like you said, look, the person that's behind them. You not listen. You have to know and distinguish what they're speaking. And you listen. First of all, you gotta the pastor. You better find out who he is. Find out who he is and what he's about. Because how are you going to listen to somebody that you know nothing about?
Mm.
That's key. Okay. Then after that, right? After you find out who that person is, if he has a job outside of that, where did he live? You need to find out those. It's important because that is going to be the person who's teaching you, along with the other people that's in that organization. And that's why most people don't take the time out. I'm not that type of person that's going to just listen to what you're saying and not know who you are. I got to find out who you are. You know what I'm saying? And I say this openly in public. I tell people I'm very transparent. My wife is a minister, certified minister, right? We don't go to the same church because guess what? I was a member at a church, so I'm no longer a member of that church. I'm looking for a church for me and my wife. I have to do the necessary thing, and that's find the place for me and my wife. And guess what? It's going to be spirit led. It's going to be the right place. And I'm not going in it just for me. See, I had to learn that. That's my journey. I had to learn how to find the right place for me and my wife, because she's already a minister. She already know the Bible. She already doing what God has called her to do. Now it's not, now that we're married. Guess what? Her church, it's just not the place that's for me. And I know it's not. And we don't fight about it. We don't argue about it, because guess what? I want. There are things that I want to do for God, and I know, and they're right now. They're in their season, in their place, and guess what? And they're great people. They're not doing anything wrong. But see, there is things that I desire that I want to be my own personal, own thing that I have a desire that I want to be a part of, and I want to do. And they have, and other churches have those organizations that I want to be a part of. Men's ministry. I want to evangelize to men. I want men to take on the responsibility of being a king. I'm big on being a king. I am a king. I am a leader. And guess what? I lead my family, my children. And guess what? They on their own. They grown. But guess what? When they look at me, they say, you know what? My father's into church. He goes there. He's a good man. He's a good man that I respect. I look up to, and he's doing the things that he is supposed to do as a father. I've done that. And I tell other men that have young children, this is what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? That's the guidance. I just told this young man, I said, check this out. The one thing I would always say to men, you want to be the lighthouse to your children. And if you don't know what a lighthouse is, the lighthouse has a beacon of light. You're far, you're distant. Guess what? You follow that light. You are the father. The father is that beacon of light in the lighthouse. And they're trying to get to you, Dad. They're trying to get to the king that you are supposed to be. And the queens. And I say queens because guess what? You are the lighthouse to other women coming to Christ. Because there are some women that are wives that don't know how to be a real wife. I cannot tell you how to be a wife, but you can encourage women to how to be a wife. And even though you're not a wife, you know how to show them how to be a good woman, a woman that shows love, because you have children. So guess what? That you already have that natural love. It comes natural because you're a mother. So guess what? When you have the right person, the right man loving you, guess what? It's going to overspill. We talked about that all earlier. It's going to overspill.
Oh Lord. I love you. I do. I do. I do. I love you.
Contagious. I'm contagious. I am.
Yeah. I know you want the best for everybody, but
yep.
It's always best for everybody to, walk their own path. It's always best. Yeah. It's always best for everybody to walk their own path. I'm holding back because I have to.
It's in you. You can't
holding back on just because I'm trying to hear you, but you're basically you sound like you just cannot accept the fact that I am not trying to be in a ministry. I'm going to do something in life to help, but I'm doing stuff now. My ministry right now is my family. My ministry. But my ministry is not a ministry in a way. It's just part of my duty. It is a duty thing. It's as far as being part of my family. It's a duty thing.
That's part of.
But hear me out. Hear me out. I say I love you because I know you care. What you just. I want you to, be comfortable with the fact that I'm not going to get back into the church. I'm telling you over and over, it's not going to happen for me. Okay. There is a desire not to go. I have no desire. If I were to meet a man and he said that he wanted me to go to church with him, I said, honey, I will go with you one day, but not today.
Stop. So look, you already look, T. I gotta see that T. See that look at somebody said. Yo,
Yes, indeed. He is so right. They are. But I mean, it's nothing wrong with the church. It's I will visit a church, but I'm not going to be a member. I'm not going to participate. There's no need for me to do that. I have no desire for it.
okay.
And I think you're always trying to change my mind is my point. That's why I say I love you. I always feel like these conversations are all about church, and I'm like, you always encourage people to go to church, right? You always do, right? So are you going to exclude me and say not you, T, not you, T? You're always going to say that? Are you always going to be like, I'm not telling you what to do, but I know you should go to church?
Look, T,
That's what
T.
you sound like.
Not because T. It's not. Look, I can't. Your walk, and I tell this to anybody. Your walk is your walk. I said I'm always encouraging. I can't. I can't tell you how to walk. I can't tell you how
Okay.
to live.
All
You
right.
no. So don't ever think that listen. If it's, I'm gonna tell you like this though. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You
If it's
late.
bothering you, yes, you gonna have to close up.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if it's bothering you, that means that it's something
It's not bothering
that.
me. It's not a bother.
Hey,
It's just
look,
I always have to communicate with you. I
no,
always
no,
have to
T,
tell you.
T,
It's
T.
not a bother. I just gotta
Listen,
just shake my head and just
look, you see this?
communicate.
You
I
see this?
hold
Look,
back just because I have to,
because
here
T,
we go again. It's bothering you because you always saying
I,
it. So
I
and
didn't
I'm
say this.
like,
Somebody else said it. They said you holding it back right now. They say it like that because guess what? It is showing.
what's
You don't.
showing?
You holding back.
Yes, I'm holding back
Yes, because
me
you don't
being
agree what I'm saying.
no, I'm holding back me acting out, like saying certain words
Say
start with an
what you want
N.
to say.
Like
Because guess
I
what?
don't want to
You,
say N
oh,
words right
oh,
now.
oh,
So
you want to
so
say
you know what I'm
nigga?
saying? Right, exactly. It's a Negro. It's a Negro. So but the point is it's that I'm trying to just, be cool about it. But I feel like we're gonna have these conversations because you are a guy,
Yes.
you love to talk about the church. Beautiful church can be, but it's not for me. I did that most of my adult life, and now I'm going to the next phase, going into learning the lands and history and putting the works of history together with the Bible. There's nothing wrong with that. I love it. I think that's great knowledge, and I am seeking it. That's all.
Hey T,
Yeah.
how
Look,
many how many how many people like let me see. How many people like when you out and you just sometimes be holding a conversation with?
How many people?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Like
Like say
go
when
out
you're at
somewhere?
work. Yeah, like when you're at work and somebody come to you and then, they may ask you for some advice or
Oh
mm,
yeah,
it
that
could be
would
a
be all the
conversation.
time. Yeah, that would be a
So
lot. Not
so
anymore. So I don't that doesn't happen as often. So let me tell you, I don't work in the office anymore. So I don't have that interaction. But back in the day when we all worked in before 2020, I had a lot of people and I did not get a lot of work done. Because I had a lot of people come to my desk. We'd always chit chat. I had a certain people that like to talk to me and get advice. People were just feeders off of me. And that was a grateful thing for me. Like I give my good advice to people and they're just takers. You know what I'm saying? They just use you for that. And a lot of people did that to me and I saw that and I hated being at work because of that. Because I am one of those type of people who will give you some, truth for whatever you need at the time. I let life, my words freely speak the way it's supposed to, let the spirit flow. That's what I do with people. And so it would be a lot. So now I don't have interactions with a lot of people anymore, honestly. Everything is virtual. We don't have the connections like we used to. So I'm actually really grateful of that. But now, if I'm out and about with people, I have conversations with them, but it's not as often, which I'm grateful. That's why I feel like life has changed for me to allow me to, absorb knowledge and seek real knowledge and let it absorb in me because I can be able to focus more on myself.
but where I was going with it was that even with the semi little people that you interact with, and like even with Dennis saying about the church, you know, you still, regardless, even with the advice that you're giving some, even the little few, your story is God's glory. So, whether you're in the church or You're out and about, just like you would be. And the little people that you do reach, just reaching one or two can touch more than you know. Just like I told Dennis, just with y'all, this podcast, you can imagine how many people. If you go back and just do your research on your podcast, just go back and look at all the people that then came in here, and then look at every time y'all cut on the live, it's different people in here. It's different people every time. And
Yeah,
that's
it's a
the
lot.
people that's supposed to be here because the people that was here last week, some ain't here. But the ones that are here now are the ones who God got them here for a reason. Because
Mhm.
it's something that's going to be said that's going to spiritually feed them, or it's going to be something that's said that they really need to hear, not what they want to hear, but what they need to hear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Hey,
that
hey, yeah, yeah, it's good.
no, go ahead.
T, let me ask you a question because it just like ding ding ding, a big ring. Hey, T, how many friends do you have?
Oh, I have probably less than one hand, just one hand I can count. And they've all been my friends from when we were young,
Okay,
teenagers or middle school.
okay.
Yeah,
So
middle
over
school.
10, they've been your friends over 10 years, right?
Years. Yeah. Hard to keep friends now because I am so I don't have I have no nonsense type attitude. So I don't keep friends that are about, nonsense.
All right, those friends that you been since kids, do they go to church?
Yes.
They
All
go
of
to
them.
church.
Yeah.
And now, look, now do they live? It's not a judgment thing, but I'm actually, do they live like they're supposed to live?
You can say if that's what you want. I don't know what that
I mean,
means.
what you mean? They
No,
your
they haven't
friends?
been to jail. What you mean? They haven't been to
No,
jail. They don't have,
you.
baby mama drama type things. I mean, what does that mean though? They living the way they're supposed to live their life. They don't have a whole bunch of drama is what you mean. I guess. I don't know, but they're living their life. Yes.
Do they? Okay. Do they encourage you to
Yes,
come?
all the time. Yeah. But
Oh,
I don't talk to them often. I am not one of those type of people that talk to all my friends all the time. Remember, I told you I like
no, that's
distance.
why I said your
Yeah.
friends. So those are friends are real people that encourage you. I said, do they
Yeah.
encourage you to come to church with them?
It's encouraging me to go to church with them.
Yeah.
Eh, Oh no, no.
No.
They no. What for?
Oh,
No, what
I
for? Oh,
okay.
because I made myself clear, and you have a problem hearing it. So you're the only one that has a problem hearing it. So it's all right.
No,
Everybody around me has no problem with it because they understand it. I was dedicated to church many, many years.
because
And there's
look,
no stopping.
I
There's
see
no stopping
greatness in
that.
you. I see greatness in you.
But that
I
has
see you can
nothing to
bring a
do with
lot of people.
church.
What?
I
I see a
understand, but I'm
lot of
not going
people.
to
You can
use
bring a
that
lot of people to
platform.
Christ.
That's not the platform I'm going to
Ooh,
use. How about
you
that?
right. You don't listen. You don't have to
That's
use
not
that
it.
platform.
That's what
But
I keep saying. The church is not for me. That's not my platform. That's not.
okay.
Okay.
I'm afraid not.
Oh Lord. See,
Yeah.
you'll
Hey,
make me
look.
curse.
Woo! That was a jab right there. I'm just kidding.
I
But
know,
no,
I know.
listen. All right, look. You see Dad's Black talking about Friday. So look, we're gonna talk about this, but we're gonna have to close up. We've been over here almost 2 hour long.
Hmm.
So guess what? Listen, this message, y'all. Woo! It must have been contagious because we stay here. We poured it all on y'all. Juicy. That boy, that pot is sizzling right now. Oh, by the way, I just started my food preparation for the month already. I gotta see y'all a picture, let y'all see. My refrigerator is full of prep food already for me for the whole month.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I've been getting it in. Trying to lose this weight. You know what I'm saying? Kind of overweight. So that's the key for me is portion control, eating small meals. So it's like 3 meals. I got to look right now. It's just chicken and fish right now.
Mm.
And maybe one meal is sweet potatoes. So it's right now it's I mean, not chicken. I'm sorry, fish, vegetables. That's it. So that's three
Aren't you?
meals and the other
How
small
long you
thing.
getting your how long you what's your time frame or where you trying to get to with the weight?
Oh shoot, man! Right now, like 40
Mhm.
pounds. 40 pounds.
You
You
trying
could
to
do
lose
it.
40 pounds?
Yeah, but I
All
still go
you
to the
got
gym. I still go
all
to the
you gotta
gym.
do, all you gotta do is, man, listen. When I went to the doctor, I was what 210, 6 foot even, and he told me that's too heavy for my height, and I'm like, what? But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I dropped to like 180, and it was easy, man. All I did was eat salad, or I ate oatmeal in the morning with nothing in it, salad, and then at night before I go to sleep, I drink some water with a squeeze a lime in it and drink it. And while you sleep, that lime beating up that it's beating the body up. So it's
Mhm.
actually restoring the body. And then when you get up in the morning, you feel a lot better. And you step on the scale, you'll feel not different.
Yep, that's what I'm working on. But listen, hey, Scoot, it's always a pleasure to have you. But we gonna have to close up shop because it's past my time. I'm in almost 2 hours. Dang. All right, y'all.
Me
You know
too.
what it is. We see
All
y'all
right.
Wednesday. And Lady T, stay on. I'll talk to you. Lady T, stay
Okay.
on. All right, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.